Good morning everyone. Today we're going to be looking at a little bit of a special video, and we're going to be looking at which watch I've had the longest and which watch I've had the shortest. For those of you that saw this video, you probably could guess the answer already, but for those of you who didn't, we're just going to go with that now. So I've also got these watches as well in my current collection. Have a little look, see which one you think I've owned the longest and which one I own the shortest. Give you a little moment whilst I have a drink. So, the watch that I've owned the longest is the Mathey Tissot Pepsi. And the watch that I've owned only for a few days is the Gaia Flywheel. Let's move that out of the way. So the story behind obviously me purchasing that Mathey Tissot was back in sort of 2015, 2016 sort of time-ish. I wanted a Pepsi, but I didn't want to pay the obviously the 12, 15, whatever they are now, 12, 15,000 for a Rolex Pepsi. And I wanted a quartz one, and also wanted a Swiss one. And I wanted it to be as close to a sort of a modern style Pepsi look as I could get. And that's when I met the Mathey Tissot Pepsi. I love the aesthetic of that colour. If I could have any sort of watch under 20,000, it would be a Rolex Pepsi. I just love everything about the watch that's going on. I love the blue, I love the red, I love the extra hand, I love the actual hands that are on it. I love the increments. They got a bit of a fault, but I do like the increments. I just love the overall aesthetic, and it's on a comfortable strap, being a Jubilee. The Jubilee strap I find is nice and comfortable because of the size of the links. They mould a bit more nicely to the wrists. So it's a comfortable watch to wear in sort of all conditions, and it's subtle yet stands out. Does both for me. But the watch that I've owned for only a few days is the one on the right, which is a Gaia mechanical flywheel celestial watch. So this is I saw this and I thought it's a bit more of a special piece. I was thinking of replacing my Tissot PRX with something, and this came along, did a review of it, and I quite liked it really. You might think it's a little bit out of the ordinary for the collection I've got. It's a bit more, for a start, it's got an automatic part, but it's actually got a quartz mechanism in the back. But had this have been an automatic watch, I probably would have kept it, and that's probably why it's going in my collection. Not just for the fact that it's a really, really special watch to look at, it's really, truly is unique, and the craftsmanship going into the actual dial itself looks amazing. But yeah, it's simply a special piece to me. It hasn't grown on me just yet, but it's starting to. It was either going to be that one or the white, like the silver variant of this watch. It's quite a thick watch as well, as you can see from the dome, and then obviously on the casing it's nearly double the thickness of the Mathey Tissot as well. So it's less of a subtle watch, but it's one of those ones that's more a special timepiece. So the Mathey Tissot cost me around about $290, and this one costs around about $350. So you're looking at just over sort of £500 for those two. Anyway, guys, that's just a little look at my longest owned and shortest owned watches. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next video.